Alright, that was cheesy. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're keeping well, hope you've had a good week. Right, I really do feel like the end of the build is near. We're really making some good progress. We've got loads of little bits to do now, loads of little tiny bits just to do and finish it off and make it good. Right, today Chris is coming over. We're going to crack on with getting the trims to the top and the bottom of the booth cut to size. He's going to bring his table saw over and do that. I've got some odd bits of wood already marked up with what I want cutting out, so then I can just get them painted and then I can get them installed. That'll really tidy up the edge of the booth. So we're going to do a black trim around the top and we're going to do some black skirting as well. So we've got that to do. Also got that piece to put above the door, so I need to cut that to size. I can paint it, put it in place, sorted. And we are today also, hopefully time doesn't run away from us, we are going to end up putting the carpet in the booth, on the walls. That's the plan. However, first thing I want to do before he gets here is I want to get a lick of paint on the ceiling of the booth, because I've decided I don't want to carpet it because I want a little bit of live reflection for when recording drums or vocals or something like that. I want some natural reflection in there, you know, because I want it to sound nice. I don't want too much of a dead space. So I thought, let's not bother carpeting the roof. Carpet the walls, plain roof, and if I need to deaden it anymore, I can just put acoustic panels up just to get a bit more deadness in there, if that's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. Anyway, right, let's crack on. I'm going to get some tarp on the floor, get the white paint out, let's get the roof of the booth painted. The roof of the booth painted. Let's go! Alright then, we got a coat on the ceiling. Obviously it needs a second coat, might need a third coat, we already know this. I'm also thinking about doing some trim around the edges, just to tie it in where the carpet meets, to make it look nice and neat. And I'm also thinking I might do slats down the top as well. I don't know yet, we'll see how it sounds, we'll see how it goes, and I might just do it, just make it look nice. Just to tie in those little edges. Right, that's that job done for a minute. Let's crack on and get the bolts through the back of those hinges. I've got like little odd jobs now to do, so not really worth talking about. Bolts through hinges, and I've got to sort the rear bit of door stop to go on the back of the big door with the seal. Right, let's get that done. That's looking better. I'll be stronger than those screws in there. It's got a proper connection now for that back part of the hinge. I'll probably end up spraying these heads black at some point. Obviously got to take the stickers off as well. Right. So that's sealed. Happy days. Alright, so door sills are sorted on the booth door here. I've just got to put the latch in on the other side. Me and Chris are going to cut some long lengths with a table saw tomorrow. So he was going to come today, change of plan, so I've just cracked on my own with other bits and bobs. So we're going to get the long lengths cut with the table saw, and we're going to put a slither just on the inside of this door here for the latch. We're going to cover the whole lot and then put a latch on it, and then that will also seal tight with that. That's good. Right, we're making progress. Right, I'm going to put a lick of paint around the door frame. Obviously we're going to continue to carpet this room as well as we go, so I may just get the paint out and just get the little bits sorted now so they can dry overnight, ready for tomorrow. Alrighty then, a fair bit of painting there, quite a lot of painting to be fair, but the inside of the door is now painted black, so that will match in now with the carpet when that goes up. Just ties it in a bit nicer. And the other side of the door, I've done all of the grey colour like the outside. Obviously that top bit there will have a bit of plate on trim on it, so I don't need to paint that. And obviously we'll have some skirting down the bottom. Right, let that dry, crack on again tomorrow. Yes. And we are back on another day. Good morning. Right, Chris is on his way over. We're going to get the table saw out. We're going to get these bits trimmed up, as I mentioned earlier. And we're also going to get some carpet on the walls in the booth. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah. He's a beaut. Yeah?
Yeah.
A little bit more if you like.
such a productive day with Chris there. We've got this whole room carpeted with the remaining carpet we had left from the floor, which is great. This wall here, as you can see, needs something, so I'm probably going to paint it black, and I might use acoustic treatment down there. I've got loads of that stuff lying around, so we can make it work. However, in general, for a booth and giving it a lining, acoustic deadening, and also filling the gaps from the framework, you know, it's really doing a good job. So we've also then got, as you saw, tail end there, got a little bit of trim in here ready for the latch, so that's ready to go. I can get that latch sorted next, and I'm just going to paint around that door on the trim, as you know already. Right, we are really getting there now. Then after that, obviously, we can get the trim top and bottom painted and fitted, and we've even mited the end to get a nice corner. We are laughing, people, we are laughing. Right, I've got band practice tonight, so I'm going to crack on, have some food and get to practice, and we'll crack on again tomorrow. Let's do this. Yes, every time, let's do this. And we're back on another day. How you doing? Right, it's been a busy weekend for me, running sound for an event and doing some hires for my weddings and stuff, as I mentioned in previous videos, is what I do, as well as bits and bobs. So, now I've just got loads of lot of painting bits to do for the trims. That's the plan. So I'm going to get set up. I've got the skirting to paint, I've got the top trim to paint, I've got the door to paint, I've got around the door, the door frame bit to paint. I'm not going to just film all of it because you've seen me paint enough, and basically the trims are going to go black and the door's going to go grey. Sorted, right? Anyway, I'm going to get on with that, I'm going to get it done, and then we're going to get them fitted and sorted. And also, whilst out this morning, I went to pick up my acoustic treatment that was on the original setup wall, which you would have seen in the first video, if you've seen that far back. So when I initially moved, I'll put a picture up here for you, but those acoustic panels, I've picked them up and I'm going to put them on the wall in the drum booth. Oh, we need some lighting here, don't we? I'm going to put them on the wall in here just to get that wall finished. That's the plan with that. And that looked good then, so we've got an idea, we've got a plan. Also, I might do some slats on the ceiling. I haven't decided yet. We're going to make a decision on that later on. Right, let's crack on, let's do it, let's go. Alright then, that is 2 coats on the trim, and also the bottom of the door, and we've also done 2 coats on the top of the door here as well, and we've also done the door frame. Happy days. All we've got to do is put the latch on. Oh, I've also done the door as well. So just got to put the latch back on over there, and fit the other little bit down the bottom of the door to make it all even. Right, next job on the agenda is, whilst the paint's drying around the door, I can't do anything there, but I've got to put the latch plate on. Obviously I've got to chisel that out and put plate on, so that's not a problem, I can do that. And then, but before that, we can get the acoustic treatment on the wall on the inside of the booth. Right, first I need a bite to eat, so we'll be back in a second. Alright then, had a bite to eat, fat and full, happy days. Right, the skirting board lengths are dry, and also the top lengths are dry, so I'm going to get fitting them. I might not be able to do the top ones on my own, but we'll see how we get on. Right, yeah, let's do it. Alright, I'm going to get this trim up on the top. I might not be able to do it myself, so I'm going to see if I can make it possible. If not, which I don't think I will, I'm going to get a hand. I won't be able to show you that though. Something like that. Can I have it? Alright, I called in a bit of help. We have one side up. That looks nice and neat. Obviously I've got to do a little bit of a smidge bit at the end there. Need to cut that to size now it's up and paint it and get it in place. That won't take me 2 minutes. Well, the painting won't. And even putting it up, so waiting for it to dry, that'll take time. Anyway, I just got to do this side now, so I've got to get some blocks in the side just to gap fill it, and then I've got a pointer screw to let's get it going. Alright, a little bit of tweaking, and we've got both sides on. You can probably see that side down the side there. That's all looking good. Obviously a dab of paint over the screw heads, and I've got to do that little corner, and there's a bottom edge as well to do. So I'm going to get them cut up now, and get them painted, and we should be good. Happy days. Right. I've got to get the stickers off those hinges here as well, haven't I? We're nearly there. We're nearly there, people. We're nearly there. Hell yes. Alright, we have the trim sorted on the both. Happy days. Top and bottom. I've got that white trim to get down the side there, just to neaten it up where the cut is and the join is. I can't decide whether or not I want to paint it grey or black. Or do I leave it white? I can't decide. Let me know what you think. I'll see what I decide. So, we carpeted the walls in the booth, right? We didn't have enough carpet to do all 4 walls. So, on this little bit in the corner here, I'm going to utilise the old acoustic treatment that I had in the old room. So, I'm thinking I might just do blue and black squares as a checkered pattern like I did before, down that wall, and utilise it and make it work. So we can get rid of that. There's a slight bounce off of that wall, which is a bit odd. So I'm going to get rid of that, and then it's just the ceiling in the wall, which will have the reflections from. I might slap the ceiling as well. I haven't decided yet. Right, let's get them on the wall. Let's get them fitted. Last time I taped them up. This time I might tack them up. So I've got plenty of tacks. Yeah. Alright, that's that wall sorted. Slight curve, that's nice, I like that. It kind of just gives it a nice finish. Nice bit of cut of carpet just to give it the little bottom bit sorted there. Spot on, that'll do the job. Right, what's next? And we're back on another day. Right, I have 1 latch to fit. I have 1 bit of trim to paint and fit, and I think I'm maybe done on the build. Apart from, obviously, I've got to make some isolation cabs, but there'll be different videos. And I'm going to move my gear in. I think the room is nearly done. I pretty much feel like I'm racking my brain right now because I feel like I've forgotten something. Maybe I haven't. Oh, I might need to make some bungs to go in the windows because I was going to double them up one night originally. Not going to do that now. I'm going to make some bungs to go in the windows because it'll be a bit cheaper. Because windows are not cheap and I'll have to get them made to size and that's not cheap either. So, but I'm going to do a sound check in here with the drum kit with Sam and see if you can hear it outside the building. If you can, if you can really badly, which hopefully you won't, then I'll make some bungs to the window. So apart from the bungs and the isolation cabs, I think the room is now complete. Bar those little things. I'm going to crack on with it and do it, and I can call it a day. Just like that. Right. Might recess that back in a little bit. Sorted, right. That's in. Just need a lick of paint, that'll clean it up nicely. She's done, she's in. Alright, that was cheesy. But this room is in need of a good old clean and tidy up. Obviously that bit of trim needs to go on the side, that's currently drying at the minute. So in the meantime, let's clean up, tidy up, and we'll get rid of most of this stuff in this room so we can get ready to move the stuff in ASAP. Let's do this. Yes. And just like that, 6 months, nearly to the day, we have a room completely converted from a garage, single block garage, to a home studio, an epic home studio, complete with a booth and everything in between. Right, the next step now is to get my setup that's in the temporary setup in here, get it all plugged in, make some noise, and we can figure out what we can do with the acoustic treatment. I've got plenty of acoustic treatment already here in the room. I've just got to put it in the right places and get it installed. The booth needs wiring up to the main desk. Once we got that in here, I've got a snake ready to run through the wall, and we're going to run down the outside of here. I might make a little box skirting later on. We'll see what it looks like and if it looks neat enough. Obviously, I'm going to have a sofa here at some point. That has been ordered. It is on the way. And I've also going to utilise this wood that's behind me because I've got to make some some isolation boxes, which I'm going to house in them. 2 side speakers, a 12-inch speaker for the guitar amp recording and a 15-inch speaker for bass amp recording. Obviously just DI bass anyway, but it's also good to get the sound of a cab running as well. However, I may just utilise the booth and put an amp in the booth and then DI anyway. So don't always have to mic up an amp, but it's always good to get that mid-range sound and top end sound of a cab. And then you get the low end from the DI and the EQ. Anyway, that's a different story for another day. Right, I'm going to call it here for today. Thank you very much for tuning in, supporting the channel, watching the videos, smashing the like button, sharing it with your friends. I really do appreciate it. It's really nice to bump into people that I know and they compliment the video. They mention they've been watching it. It means a lot that you guys are actually tuning in, because when I started this project I was like, I want to do more on YouTube, and this is the best way to get my foot back in the door on YouTube and actually start doing like vlogs like this and going from there. So thank you very much for tuning in and supporting. Really do appreciate it. Don't go anywhere though. I've got loads of plans, loads of videos to make in this very room, music related, recording related, etc. Streaming related. There's lots of stuff coming this way. So be sure to stick around. Right, the next video, I'm going to get my gear in this room. We're going to get it in, set it up, and make some noise and see how it sounds. And then we're also then going to get a drum kit in that booth and get a dB meter and stand outside the building and see how much reduction of noise travel we've managed to get by doing all of this work. Fingers crossed it works in my favour. Right guys, take it easy, have a great week. I may see you out there. You might not. No, why not? I might just stay in this room and hide in the box. Anyway, take it easy. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Cheers and gone. And no, I didn't forget about the trim. Now it's sorted. Have a good week.